And welcome back to part 6 of What If the Earth Dragon Balls Function Like the Namekian Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball Z! Anyway, we're now in the end game, pretty much of the series. This will be the last episode. I'll put a poll up. Technically, this comes out Saturday. Today, I'm doing it Friday. But this will come out Saturday. I'll do a poll later in the day to let you know what the next 2 what if suggestions will be. And you can choose from there, and we'll go from there. Anyway, so last time we left off with the defeat of Goku Black. Luckily, because of the fusions and Zeni and all that, they were still able to defeat Goku Black. But this leads us now into the Tournament of Power, and what that will ultimately entail. Now, Goku and Raditz are obviously kind of brought into, for the preliminaries, but there really isn't a good third option here. The best you could maybe do is Gohan, who is probably trained and at least has a Super Saiyan form at this point. You could also maybe do Goten or Goten or Trunks. But they might play a factor later on down the road. But that's maybe the best you can hope for. Having Gohan, Raditz, and Goku. And I can honestly see it going the same way. Gohan loses against Lavender. Basil's beaten by Raditz, and Goku beats Bergamo, and then Topo. So you would then lead into the actual tournament selection itself. Now, this is where things get a little spicy. Because you would have, obviously, Goku. You'd have Raditz. There's 2 of your 10 right there. You'd probably still get Krillin, you'd get Roshi, and you'd get Tien. That's half your team right there. But there is no Piccolo. There's no Majin Buu. There are no androids. Now so you're down 5 people here already. So you got to get a little creative. We still have Gohan here, and because they have some time, they suggest Gohan really do some training in the hyperbolic time chamber if he's going to help out. And because they've, at this point in time, probably fixed up the time chamber, reused it, all that. Even like Upa and Bora, unfortunately, you just can't keep up with the level of power at this point. So they go in and they train, and they're able to at least get Gohan up to like a Super Saiyan 2 level. So 1 year training in the hyperbolic time chamber, absolutely. There is no old Kai, though, so that's unfortunately a no-go for hidden potential unlocking. In fact, I could argue that maybe everyone tries to get some time in the chamber if possible, but it doesn't always go as to plan. But there, you have Gohan added on the team. But still 4 missing slots here. So what do? Well, they also suggest that Goten and Trunks go in for his time as well. They will go and get them when it's needed. And thinking words, just 1 second. And they also haven't taught the fusion dance. So this is an area where Goten and Trunks both actually get to participate. Trunks is a little older in this too, so he's a little bit more matured up. And even though they're kids, they do know, they are told, we are letting you come here with us, okay? You understand this? But this is the sake not of your home, not of your world, not of everything. Universe. Everyone is going to not die, but be erased. There'll be no heaven, no hell, nor anything. And basically, they have to look at me and I was like, "Do you understand this?" And they're just like, and they give that. It's like, "Yes, sir." All right. I trust in you guys. And so, but that, like I said, so you got now. You have Raditz, you have Goku. You have Krillin, you have Tien, you have Roshi. Great, cool. You have Gohan, you have Trunks, and you have Goten. Still 2 slots left. And here is where some old friends get to come back. Because they do bring up, well, Vegeta's locked up in the Galactic Patrol. I'm sure we could plan a little prison break and just bring him. I'm sure he doesn't wish to cease to exist now, does he? Tell him we'll clear everything with the Galactic Patrol, and they'll be free to go. That'll be more than enough to get him out of there, get him to agree. And so Whis shows up. The Galactic Patrol's like, Mirus is probably, I believe it's Mirus, right? Was the name of the other angel? Um, Now, granted, I am combining the Moro arc with the Galactic Patrol into this. I don't generally branch outside of the anime canon unless it could be worked into the story effectively. And this makes sense. It could be worked in the story. This is why I've never gone into the Moro stuff. I've never gone into the gas granola stuff or anything like that, because I do pay attention to the manga, but I don't actively read it, and it's very different than the anime. Because the Tournament of Power that takes place in the manga is not the same Tournament of Power that takes place in the anime. So trying to just continue past the like Broly and Dragon Ball superheroes doesn't work in that sense. Regardless. So Whis comes, and Mir's like, brother, what are you doing here? Oh, Miris, it's good to see you, little brother. It's like, what are you doing here? You're not... It's like, I'm afraid we need Vegeta's services for something. What, you can't just break him out if he... Well, don't you care about the law or anything like that? And Whis actually has to put his foot down and say, well, your law won't mean anything if our universe is wiped out of existence by Lord Zeno. And he explains the situation to Miris. And Miris flexes a little authority. He's like, all right, release him. I was like, what? I said release him. So, and it gives him like some mild... The best lies are the lies that are told with half-truths. So he says, like, the whole universe is in danger. That's all you need to know. And he is someone who can help. Vegeta, for what it's worth, is like, makes sense, you can't do it without me. Oh, and just, what's that saying? Don't get twisted, Vegeta. Vegeta, Lord Beerus, Lord, it wasn't I who, Lord Beerus is offering you a pardon. You won't have to even come back here again, but only if you do your part. Wait, Lord Beerus! Should note, I believe... See, I don't know if the Majin symbol disappears with the death of the creator. Then again, Babidi was technically still alive when he was cut in half by Piccolo. So... I don't know, actually. There's no evidence to say one way or the other, because the only other Majin being was Majin Buu. There was no Majin anyone else out there at the time. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that the boost of power he got, because of the Saiyan heritage, stayed, but the Majin symbol of influence disappeared. How about that? Because the Saiyan heritage, you can absorb God Ki, you can absorb a little magic into your system. Vegeta... it just, remember, here's Beerus saying, wait, Beerus, and just suddenly gets teleported, and he sees Goku, and he sees Raditz there, and he sees Beerus, and he nearly shits a brick, just, Vegeta, it's been too long. Tell me, how have you been? What, cat got your tongue? No, Beerus. It's like, so, but maybe enough of the formalities. When we're in a dire strait, we need your assistance. Yes, of course. I'll be honest to help you, Lord Beerus. Oh, very good. And as a reward, we'll free you from that prison. I'm very grateful. Thank you. It's like, when Raditz and Goku's like, whoa. It's like, I never thought I'd see today he'd act like a little bitch. What did you say, you... And she's like, what's hard of hearing? And he's like, you! And they just infight, but Raditz can just dodge him, because they both got God Ki at this point. So it's like, nope. And so they do the head count, like, damn it, we're still one short, and there's not many other fighters on this planet. I suppose, and it's like, well, I suppose Yamcha or Chaozu would do. I wouldn't want to bring Chaozu into this. He's just, he's got ability, but just nothing for what I think we're going into. Oh man, so only you had destroyed Frieza's forces. But true, but he's not. I got it. And Goku's like, I got it. We'll just bring back Frieza. And he goes, visits Frieza. They have their conversation, and he's brought back. They clash, and boom. That which was great by the way. That transformation looked boss compared to the original one. And the team is set. Now, there is some strategy going on with at least the humans, and to some degree, in fact, everyone who can do the fusion dance, which is basically everyone except for Frieza and Vegeta. Even Roshi probably knows how to do it. He just probably is going to opt out from doing it. But the point being is, unless he has to, the point being is that they said that the tournament is, I believe it's 48 minutes long. The fusion dance only lasts 30 minutes, and higher levels of power will drain the dance even further, the fusion even further. So if you can avoid doing it, avoid transforming until we know. Try to keep track of the time in your head. Wait as long as you can to do the fusion dance before you do it, if you have to. And so that's the game plan. And so they are rushed into the tournament. They meet all their combatants. Shade is thrown. Threats are made. Opponents are shown. And the fight begins. Universe 9 immediately goes after Universe 7, as we know. And they quickly get knocked out, I think, in less than a minute, if I was correct, if I remember correctly. And here I think we have a slightly different scenario. I think Krillin doesn't get knocked out, at least in the same way he did originally, because he was bragging and he was saving his wife at the time. Here he's not married, so he's just, taking individuals out. The humans are working in tandem with each other. So several universes, individuals are, taken out, I think, a bit more effectively. I do still think, though, it is Krillin who goes out first in this case. And I think it's just because he ends up going up against Frost and loses. Gohan goes up against, Gilliel or something like that. The one cool guy from, Universe 10, who was able to create that weird after image thing. And that was actually, that was a cool fight. I did like that. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was cool. And a lot of back and forth goes on as it does in the tournament. Kale goes nuts. Jiren puts her down temporarily. It isn't until we get to say around Goku versus Jiren that things have to start changing up, because at this point Roshi would also be knocked out of the arena. Tien, I actually think, is able to make it out of there, at least for a bit longer. He's able to make it past that point. The reason I think Tien can do that in this version is A, he is stronger, has trained harder than he did in the original. And B, I think having a slightly different team has caused different, say, strategies to be put in place. Gohan is a lot more is more intelligent, more tactical here because he's a lot more book savvy. He did get a lot of training for Super Saiyan 2 and all that. And Tien has never stopped training himself. I think they're able to take care of the sniper without Tien being knocked out. I think what happens is one of his doubles goes instead of him, and he's able to come back into the fray. Goku and Jiren have their match. Goku's actually in a bit of a bind, because Goku doesn't have his Kaioken in this version, which means he can only do so much to Jiren. He also doesn't know the Spirit Bomb. This is a big problem. And a lot of times I try to figure out a way if Goku can obtain Ultra Instinct here. But Goku, I don't think, can obtain Ultra Instinct here. Not in this way, anyway. So he gets put down on the ground. Jiren's about to put him down before he suddenly has to block a kick from Raditz. Just comes and says, "Kakarot, are you okay?" I'm throwing everything I can at this guy. There's nothing I can do. We have one last resort, Kakarot. You know it, I know it. It's risky, but I've been keeping track. We should have enough time at this point left. And it's like, you sure about this? No better time than the present, Kakarot. Kakarot, brother. And he gets up, like, "Hey, Jiren, you want a real fight?" And, just stay back and watch then. It's like, phew, ja. Wait, what was it? No, sorry. Oh, phew. Why am I forgetting the fusion dance? It's phew. So no. It's fusion. There you go. Then I got it. You had to start from the outside going in, do the curve, or do the curve, the quick swivel, and then the point. There you go. And all of a sudden, everyone is sensing it, including Beerus. Like, wait, what? And it's like, what? They could do that the whole time? I was like, And it seems that's the Monomorian technique. I didn't know they were aware of it. Oh, well, this has changed things up. And then all of a sudden, everyone fighting who's left which would still be Vegeta, Frieza, Tien, Gohan, and Trunks and Goten, in the sense that, and 4 of them are like, well, no sense letting them have all the fun. Right. Fusion. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Fusion. Man, I'm screwing it up again. Fusion. And then, so Gotenks is come into play. It's like, let's do this. And then a surprise one, Tien and Gohan fuse. This is kind of why I kept Tien around. Tien is much weaker than Gohan, but because of the way fusion works, all their abilities are shared, so they can still do a Super Saiyan transformation. He does have hair. It's just maybe he's got like, actually, you know what? He could look like, oh god, what's his name? The villain who's in Tenken, like the father. He's got those weird like reverse mohawk. Like, it could look like that. But Tien and Gohan make Tienhan? Tienhan's a little better. But what would the opposite of that be? Gohien? Gohien is not bad. I like Tihoan a little better. Either way. Or actually Tienhan might be another way to go about it. Or Tihan. Actually, Tihan's pretty simple. So anyway, they're there, and they're extremely, like, they're easily surpassing Vegeta in power. Gotenks is extremely powerful as well, and obviously we have Goradids. I think I can't remember the name I used last time. And they all power up to their strongest forms, minus the fact that I know that I don't think Trunks and Goten have Super Saiyan 3 here, but they do have Super Saiyan. And so they all power up to their Super Saiyan forms, and particularly Super Saiyan Blue, and the fights continue, except now Gotenks and Tienan are kind of now blitzing through some foes and kind of knocking individuals out and just like really overpowered. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Frieza have a moment of, I really hate them. That's the one thing we can agree on, Vegeta. Anyway, they just go and they keep doing their own thing. And the fusion fight between Goku Reds and Jiren goes into full effect. And we know for a fact, very much, that Gogeta would have probably been able to beat Jiren. It's debatable whether or not Broly could have beat Jiren. I should backtrack that statement just briefly. We know that Gogeta could beat Broly, who was arguably stronger than Beerus. And while it's implied Jiren is stronger than Beerus, it's never been flat out stated that Jiren was stronger than Beerus. It just said that Jiren is the mortal stronger than a god of destruction. Not all the gods of destruction, just a god of destruction. And that's a very, very key statement. Because we know from the manga, and this is a little bit of where the lores can kind of mix, that not all the gods are equal in strength. There is a hierarchy of strength of the gods. And Beerus is, I think, considered among the stronger of the gods, despite being one of the worst universes. Now, Beerus was shocked about Jiren's power. But he never won. Goku was able to beat Jiren, is the thing, with Ultra Instinct. And the writers always did state they never do intend, at least at any point in time, to have Goku surpass Beerus, because that's the ceiling he can never reach. That's the wall he can never get through. And it's something for him to strive towards. And that really just kind of, I think, solidifies, puts the nail in the coffin just a little bit, that yeah, Goku was stronger than Jiren, not stronger than Beerus, which means Beerus was stronger than Jiren. What I'm trying to get at here is that Broly seemed to have been depicted as much stronger than even Jiren. And he implies he might have been stronger than Beerus, but let's be honest, he probably isn't. And I don't know if even Beast Gohan is. Like, they say he's the strongest Z fighter, allegedly, but that doesn't make him stronger than Beerus, who's not a Z fighter. So what I'm trying to get at here, ultimately, is that this new fusion, Super Saiyan Blue, Rad's Goku combo, quickly starts to overtake Jiren. Very quickly starts to overtake him. Jiren now has to start pulling out stuff. He's now powering up full power as well. His energy is just that giant monument of fire. Blasts a bunch of universes out, maybe even knocking a few of them just out of the tournament. So you just boop, squish, squish, and the remaining Team 7 just has to keep out of the way of them while dealing with others, Z5, other warriors. They're basically cleaning up the mess. A couple of them are going to get knocked out. I think Gotenks would be the one to get knocked out. Vegeta would also get knocked out, which would leave the Tien, Frieza, and Raditz Goku fusion. Radku. I'm just going to call him Radku from right now. Radku, man. Radku. You Radku. And so they're crashing. And again, Jiris is now... Jiris. I'm just... Fusion. Jiris. Which would be a ridiculously powerful individual. But no. Jiren, now he's flexing. He's going all out with his full power. Goku, Radku, now full powers up. And basically they are like they did in the original, shaking the world of Void itself. Like their power is unstoppable, is like immense. It is just unfathomable how strong these guys are. They are destroying the ring, crashing back and forth. Ultimately, basically what happens here is ultimately they get Jiren down on the ground like they do in the original. There is only Jiren left. Frieza and the Goen or Tien or whatever I'm calling him now. Tien, or Tihan. Actually, it'd be Tihan. That's what it would be. Be Tihan. Kind of are waiting in the way, and just as they're about to, the fusion runs out because of all the power they used up. It's like, huh? And that's where Jiren kind of like gets up and just punches the back. And unfortunately, they are tired out from doing that too. It's like you need time to recharge your power to use the fusion dance. That's why there's a 30-minute period. And so Raditz and Goku are on the what's left of the ground. They try to fight. All the remaining Team 7 is doing their best to fight. Raditz ultimately gets knocked out, but it gives his remaining energy to Goku to power him back up. They square off again. And it's here, among all other things, being pushed beyond the limits, that he actually awakens Ultra Instinct Omen for the first time, I think. He gets Frieza and his son Tien combo are getting wrecked. He gets basically the gut shot, and he gets hit and blacks out temporarily, but he's got that will to keep going. And that's when he just turns into Ultra Instinct and he just but it's his first time, so he's only in the Omen. But Jiren is so wiped out that he legitimately just beats him at that point. Not before Jiren kind of takes the ring again, and I think Frieza does the sacrifice flay this time to be like, make sure he gets out of the ring. And so the day is shaved. But they say, it's like, not quite. There's still 2 fighters, technically 3 left in the ring. What? I mean, technically, didn't we win though? It's like, your universe won. Now we just need to figure out who the winner is. Like, oh man. And honestly, it's like, yeah, you earned this, Dad. And basically they pop out of the ring and defuse. And so, what's your wish, Goku? And Goku thinks on everything. And he didn't have a wish up until now. Now he thinks about it and he has the perfect one. Could you bring all the universes that were destroyed back? They say, yeah, one day I want to fight those guys again. They didn't really deserve that, did they? Better hurry up. And so they wish back the universes as such. Frieza gets resurrected. Vegeta is released basically released, and the day is shaved. Fast forward now just to what happens in the events of Broly and Dragon Ball Superhero. With Broly, honestly, it's pretty verbatim what would happen in the original Broly movie, minus the fact that Raditz is there, not Vegeta. And on the fact Vegeta probably keeps training because he wants to take down Frieza. Then he hears about the fact that Frieza found another Saiyan on their planet. He can't give him Vegeta very much. Although, technically speaking, he could give him Vegeta by luring Vegeta to Earth, saying that, and Vegeta's like, shut up! Frieza's on his way. I was told he'd be here. And sure enough, that's when he sends Broly after them. Vegeta's able to keep up for a bit, but Broly overwhelms them. Raditz gets involved, then Goku gets involved, and again, they got to use the fusion dance to beat Broly. All's well that ends well there. Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Now, that is a weird one. Because that's Hito, and they're what's left of the Red Ribbon Army. And the problem here is that when Gohan and Piccolo are not around in this version, or at least not around the same level of power or capacity that they are in the original one, Earth's pretty effed. Because Goku and Raditz are off training on Beerus' place. So honestly, yeah, the Earth gets pretty screwed once Cell Max wakes up. Now, that being said, however, they eventually would find out about it, probably reverse it, or, do the reverse. By the way, there is a wish that you could do with the Dragon Ball, should bring that up, where the potentials of all the Z fighters who have not had a potentials unlocked could be unlocked to help strengthen them in the fight. Go-Ons particularly. Just want to lay it out there, knowing that I didn't forget that. It just ultimately wouldn't change anything too drastically. So yeah, that is the end of this particular What If. Ultimately, things do end well. It's just Goku nearly without going to King Kai's and dying. He almost died against Jiren if it wasn't the fact he has his brother there, and they knew the fusion dance in this version. If I hadn't done the fusion dance trump card out my butt, they'd be effed. I have little doubt in saying they would be effed right now. Because not every Dragon Ball Z What If ends in a happy ending. Not every What If period ends in a happy ending. But regardless, I'm going to look into my book, see what the next 2 What If selections for Dragon Ball or non-Naruto is, and then we will go from there. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next time. Have a good one.